Landon Dickerson doesn't have the potential to be a breakout star this year because Landon Dickerson already is a star. Dallas still stinks. You might do it, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. For us Philadelphia Eagle fans, we understand how good this offensive line is. But when you talk to people around the league, they always talk about Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, but they sleep on Landon Dickerson. Landon Dickerson may be the best left guard in football already. And CBS, they have him listed as a potential breakout star. Well, guess what? He already is a star. Not the bad satanic cowboy star, but a really good star. A great player. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, pause, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you so much for all the support you give to me. It truly means a lot. Now, when we talk about the Eagles and we talk about this offensive line, dang it, I forgot my dang ring. I left it at work again. I hate when that happens. But when we talk about the Eagles offensive line, you're always going to hear about Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson, even Jordan Mailata. And for good reason. I mean, those are all great players. And I think Jordan Mailata, his best days are still yet to come. But I think people honestly are sleeping on Landon Dickerson. Now, I know he made the Pro Bowl last year. I do. But I don't think he's talked about enough. And if we can fill that other hole on the right guard spot, pause, I guess the Eagles, the offensive line is going to be set. It already is the best offensive line in football. I have already said that I believe it's one of the better offensive lines that I have seen in years. I'm talking 80s Washington team, the 90s Dallas. I'm talking up with those levels. I believe these guys are that good. And Landon Dickerson is one of the reasons why. When the Eagles drafted him, it was, a lot of people didn't like the pick. I had no problem with the pick, but the only thing was Landon Dickerson going to be healthy? And I remember saying, if he's healthy, he's a star. But he's got to be healthy. And guess what? He has been healthy. And it's pretty interesting to me that CBS has named him as the potential breakout star, one of the best. Eagles left guard Landon Dickerson named potential breakout star, one of the best. Philadelphia Eagles left guard Landon Dickerson was named a potential star for the upcoming season by CBS Sports. Now, to me, it's very nice that he's listed on that, but to me, he's already arrived. He, in my opinion, has got to be one of the top three guards in all of football, okay? Here's a little bit of what they said about Landon Dickerson. Although Philadelphia Eagles left guard Landon Dickerson had a remarkable year with the team, he fell short of reaching stardom in 2022. On what planet are these people on? However, his chances of getting closer to that status could improve this season. On Wednesday, CBS Sports named Dickerson one of the NFC's 16 potential breakout stars for an upcoming season, citing his remarkable campaign last year. Selected to the Pro Bowl in 2022, Dickerson allowed just one sack and 17 pressures at left guard, CBS Sports writes. He allowed just 4 quarterback hits and a 2.9 pressure percentage rate. A huge year 3 could be in store for Dickerson, who is already one of the best offensive linemen on arguably the best offensive line in the game. To me, it's like, I feel like, where have you been a whole year? This guy was killing it last year. I just don't get it. Dickerson was initially drafted at the 37th overall pick in 2021 to become the successor to center Jason Kelce. However, with Kelce delaying retirement, Dickerson was shifted to left guard and had a phenomenal 2022 season. He proved that his future should be at left guard rather than center. The whole idea of him playing center ended, CBS Sports, I'm just saying, when they drafted Cam Jurgens. In his first full season as a starter, Dickerson was part of an offensive line that provided the league's top rushing offense, averaging 159.7 yards a game. The line also contributed to the team generating the most explosive plays in the league, totaling 163. Additionally, the Eagles set a single-season franchise record in rushing yards with 2,715 yards on the ground. The point being, Landon Dickerson is a star. He's a star. If anything, we probably don't talk about him enough because just when you deal with the offensive line, they tend to be overlooked a lot of times. Now, on this channel, we talk a lot about the offensive line because we know how important the offensive defensive line is to the Philadelphia Eagles. But Landon Dickerson, because everybody wants to talk about, your offensive line is old, and once Kelsey's gone, once Lane Johnson is gone, you guys are going to be trash. You ain't going to be nothing. This is literally what some of them satanic people who are sacrificing chickens in Dallas, this is what they think. That it's just like the Eagles are at their end of the line, and at any time, once Jason Kelsey retires, the dominoes will fall and the Eagles will just fade into oblivion. It ain't going to happen. Landon Dickerson is young. Jordan Mailata is young. Cam Jurgens was drafted to replace Kelsey. You're set. On the left side of the line is set. Now, you might have to go out and get a right tackle. No argument there. And you're going to have to figure out the right guard situation. Now, for this year, they may move Cam Jurgens. We've talked about it. Maybe Steen wins the job. I don't know. But I know that the Eagles, their offensive line is not all old. It's not just hanging by a thread of Lane Johnson and Kelsey, and that's it. They've got a lot of young players on that offensive line. You got left tackle, set. Left guard, set. Center, set. You're good to go for years and years to come. The fact that they think Landon Dickerson, in my opinion, is going to be a star after this year, they're about a year behind. The guy's already been there. He's already reached that. I think he's arguably the best left guard in football. And he's nasty, and he's mean, and you got to love it. What a genius move that was for the Eagles drafting him a few years ago. We didn't know how it was going to be with all his injuries, but it seemed like it's paid off big time. And yes, they did. It is true, though. They did draft Landon Dickerson to be the center. He moved him to left guard when they needed help, and guess what? He was so good, you couldn't move him. Now, the question is if Jurgens goes out and kills at right guard and he's just a mainstay, are they going to just be like, well, we're going to have to draft another center. We just cannot move this guy? That'll be the question. It'll be an interesting question at that. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about also is there was a report that came out the other day, and it was talking about that the Eagles made an effort to get two other receivers instead of A.J. Brown. And it was basically what could have been. The first guy that they said the Eagles tried to get was Calvin Ridley. Now, we all remember this. This was a deal that was done. Calvin Ridley was coming to the Philadelphia Eagles. This was going to happen, okay? He got in trouble for gambling. He gets suspended. It destroyed the deal. And Atlanta was actually, you have to give Atlanta credit because they actually let the Eagles know ahead of time, because this trade would have happened before the Eagles would have ever found out he was going to get suspended. And they were honest with the Eagles and told them, we backed out of the trade. He eventually went to Jacksonville, and the Eagles didn't get Calvin Ridley. The other one they also said was Allen Robinson. This is what they said about Allen Robinson. I thought was interesting. The other receiver the Eagles were close to landing was Allen Robinson. The Eagles were expected to sign him before he decided to take one more night to think about it. That is when the Rams snuck in, got a deal done with him before the Eagles. This was ultimately the best outcome for the Eagles because Robinson didn't look like his old self out there last year. And could you imagine if they would have gotten Allen Robinson and then they would have blown the opportunity to get A.J. Brown? A.J. Brown is better than Allen Robinson. So this was a big deal. The fact that he took an extra night to think about it, it just shows you that this is our time. The bad things that used to happen, the bad luck, the bad breaks we used to get, That doesn't happen to us anymore. That happens to the Cowboys now. Let that happen to them. Us, we're in the golden era. So we really lucked out there. Now, one name that they didn't mention in this article that I thought was somebody that we should mention was Deebo Samuel. If you guys remember, when the Eagles made the trade for A.J. Brown, the night of the trade, they offered, reportedly, not only the Titans the same compensation, but they offered the San Francisco 49ers the same exact compensation for Deebo Samuel. The 49ers said no, they refused, they didn't want to do it, and ultimately he didn't get traded. They wound up giving him an extension. He wound up getting his ass kicked in the NFC Championship game. He got double moonwalked in the ass, and now he's crying like a baby about it still to this day. So it really worked out. But it is funny how things fall a certain way. You know, we've heard the reports about the Eagles had a deal worked out for Russell Wilson. God forbid if that would have happened. In the old days, when we had bad luck and we were cursed and it seemed like things didn't go our way, these are the kind of things that would have went down that would have screwed us. Instead, things went the way they did, and now we got a young quarterback, young wide receivers, and we are set for years and years to come. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Okay, so have you guys seen this girl, right? She's on a plane. Apparently, she's looking at some dude or she's, whatever he looks, and he has like reptilian eyes type thing. She freaks out. The man's get off the plane. She goes up there. She goes, I'm getting off this plane. This dude over there is not real. This MFer is not real. Is not real. That's what she said. And she says, I don't care if you people laugh at me. I don't care if you die. I don't care. I'm just telling you he isn't real. And then she gets off the plane, right? It was a big thing. It's gone viral on Twitter and stuff. I have to tell you, if that was me and I was on that plane and that girl said that, I'm gone. I'm off the plane before she is. As soon as she says, that dude ain't real and you guys gonna die, I'm not, or whatever it was, I'm gone. I'm gone so fast. I'm running off that plane. You have no idea how scared of planes I am. I would have calculated the calculations of cornbread so fast I'd have been out of there. Let me tell you something. When I was dating my wife and I'd have to fly in here to visit her, I hated it. It was absolutely horrible. And there was one time, because I'm weird like this, like I hate planes. And we're going to planes, she's going to drop me off, I'm going home, flying home. And we're driving up, and I'm like, nah, I'm not getting on that plane. I don't feel good about it. She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I just have a feeling that plane's going to crash. I'm not getting on it. You're kidding me. You made me take off work to drive you there. You're not going home? I'm not going home. I refuse. I'm going to go home. Take me home to your house. We went back to her house. I turned the news on. I waited. But ain't no plane ever crashed. It never crashed. But I'm telling you this. If I even get a sense of a plane, I won't get on the plane. That girl said that, and I was on that plane, I would have been out. You would have seen her standing there. I would have jumped up, and I would have been running. My hands would have been running. I ain't no way. Now, I got to also say this. I believe her. I believe she saw something. I just don't know what it is. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is. But I believe her. Even if she didn't really see it, I believe she thinks she did. I'm out of there. Denzel Washington out.